the ego, it's really our worst enemy because it's the thing that's always going to be like, no, don't do it. Your pride will get wounded. Your whatever. It's
what if it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just like the ego that holds us back from like so much. All right.
Coffee with Izzy and Maggie.
Coffee with Izzy and Maggie. This is a new series or flow of podcasts that we are now doing.
We're figuring out what we're going to call it.
We're going to decide.
Yeah.
We don't know. Usually we have coffee on Thursdays, and we have had coffee on Thursdays 2 years now.
Maybe a year. I feel like it hasn't quite been that long.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe it's been longer, but we usually go out for coffee.
We started it because we weren't hanging out as much, and then we were like, we need to hang.
We need to schedule it in because we used to like live together, and even when we did, like we were just like different schedules. We needed to actually schedule it in.
Yeah. So we thought about calling the show or our series whenever we are on the show, Coffee Thursdays, but then we're stuck on a day.
Yeah. And
it's also Tuesday today.
So we're already starting.
So it's just gonna be coffee with Maggie and Izzy.
Yes. Do you like this
cup?
No.
The coffee. Yeah, it's really good.
I did the whole milk and then the sugar-free, but I was like, I don't know if it's.
Is this cinnamon on top or something?
Yeah, a little bit of cinnamon, just a dash.
All right, very nice. Yeah, I have. Have you been drinking a lot of coffee recently?
Not really, no. And when I do,
that's why I'm so excited because I'm gonna get.
I know, I have not, and when I do, I usually just drink it with chocolate milk because that's what Matthew always drinks it with.
Yeah.
So, but that's not our vibe. We're not like coffee.
I don't drink coffee the way Mitchell likes to drink coffee.
Yeah.
It's like one of our areas we don't align.
We're not in agreement.
We're not in agreement. Every time he makes coffee, though, he makes it too, I think, like light. He waters it down.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, but he wants to make it all the way to the top every time.
Because you guys have the French press. Yeah.
Which is nice, but
I know. No. I think I need to invest in like high quality coffee. I've been,
I know.
Like hearing a lot about that lately.
Oh, like the stuff that's in it?
Yeah.
And now with like the pods.
Way overthinking it, and I don't know.
That's why I've been drinking tea every morning.
Yeah.
So then I don't think about it, but then I just got my pods again for my Keurig or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And it's so good.
They have the metal pods where you just like put it in there and then you can still have it.
Oh, like you can reuse
your Keurig,
I know.
Espresso or whatever, but it's supposed to be better. So I don't know.
Okay. All right. That aside. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
The last time we did this was about a year ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
It was so much fun though.
And our mics were not hooked up and I was way more new to this. And now I'm restarting. Like I said, I was going to talk about, I took a long pause. 2 months almost.
It's a long time.
Yeah. I've been running reruns, so if you're wondering if you've heard something before, that's why you have.
It's still running,
But I'm ready to relaunch and do it in a new way, a fun way. I want to have more fun with it. More real. Like, and not that I wasn't real before, but I held back more because my family, and now I realize my family literally doesn't listen to my podcast. And even if they do, it's okay. You know what I mean? Because I know I love them. If they want to talk to me about something, they can. But I held back a lot because I didn't want to talk about any things that like actually are the way that I'm moving forward differently. Just even with like faith and the way that I grew up and like realizing all the things that I thought about the church, that I thought about like all kinds of things that I'm just like redoing, and then trauma and like literally everything. I don't want to hold back at all. And so I'm not going to hold back at all. And not that I'm going to be crazy or anything, but I'm not going to hold back because I'm like, oh, I don't want them to be offended. Because they're probably not going to listen anyways.
Sure.
And if they do, they can talk to me. And if you're a family member listening to this, love you. You can talk to me. But for real, they don't listen. Which is actually like freeing.
Right, because then like, you're free to talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah, and I want to talk more about faith, talk about like the struggles of faith, talk about like, I don't think I haven't really talked that openly about like, yes, I've always believed in God, but like more intimately what that process has been, the things that I've grown up with religiously, like all the things, and the time where I had a brief moment in my life where I believed in God still, but I didn't believe in Jesus. And it was like a 2-month period because I was like, that is so hard to believe. But I was like, I don't know if I can believe in that anymore. And I've actually been ashamed about that for a long time because I feel like I have something in my throat. But I didn't want anyone to like know that because I was like ashamed. I'm like, someone needs to know that.
Yeah,
so that they can hear
someone.
and be like, oh yeah, you like, it's okay to have, like, you have that moment. And then what did that change for you? Like, what did you learn? I think I actually become more relatable if I'm like, yes, because now I'm like, Jesus is the most real person to me of anything in my life at all. Like, it's the only like real thing in my life. But I had a phase where I literally didn't believe. And
I think that is a huge part of, honestly, a lot of people's journeys is like that unbelief that you wrestle with. But like you said, no one, it's rarely talked about because like there is that shame.
I think there's shame, yeah.
Yeah, especially when you come back around and then you feel so guilty for doubting.
Yeah.
But it's like that is a part of, I think, a lot of the human experience is that doubt that you grapple with.
Yeah, and I think did I tell you about the phase where I wasn't sure if I believed in Jesus?
You talked about it a little bit, but when was it?
I was living in Folsom, and I had a lot of people, like, I was just questioning everything. I was also removing myself from church because I was realizing so many things about the church that I grew up in and like all the things that really were not an accurate representation of Jesus or anything like that. And I got turned off to it all. I was like sick by it. And you know that, like, I was like, I can't do the church thing. This grosses me out. It feels so cultish, like all the things. And I was like, I do believe in God. I believe in the universe, you know, which that's changed now because like even when you do hang out in that space, you're like, oh, I still believe in the universe. Well, the universe is the creation. And so it's like, you're going to worship the creation versus the creator. You have to acknowledge the creator if you're going to acknowledge the creation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, I only believe in that because I was like, it's so crazy to actually believe that at that time for me that God came into human form as a man, as Jesus on earth, and died for my sins on the cross. And that was a person. That is hard to believe. When you actually hear it. Like, I say it, I'm like, that's.
And you think about someone hearing that for the first time and going, this is
wild.
Like, that is, it's huge.
And so I was like, okay, I don't know if I believe that anymore. But I was like, I still believe in God. I still believe in church. And I was doing I told you about this. I was doing a Bible study. And I was at a coffee shop in Chico with like Gil Wesley, Rachel Seitz. And I was reading the Bible and I was like, still like, yes, I'll still read the Bible, but I'm not sure how locked in I am like on Jesus being, that was hard for me to believe. And then I literally met Jesus. Like, he literally came to where I was and I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. And I was like in shock because I knew exactly who it was. And when you have those encounters, you're not like, who is this? You're like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming love and like, it's the greatest feeling in the world. And I was like, oh my gosh, I get chills literally talking about it right now. And I was like, the first thing I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I think I told you this before. I was like, I'm sorry, Jesus, I'm sorry. Like, I just thought about like all these things I had done or said or even thought. And he was like, I don't care about any of that. The only time you sinned is when you stopped believing in me.
Wow.
And that literally changed everything for me from that day on. And I was like, I will never, no matter how badly I wrestle with this, how like doubtful this seems, if I don't ever feel that feeling again, I don't care. Like, I believe. And that changed. That was 4 years ago because I was just a little bit before we moved here. And that changed everything for me.
Wow.
As far as believing in Jesus.
So when you say, because I feel like we haven't actually talked about it, or I haven't asked before. Like, when you saw him, was he like a person in front of you, or was it like that feeling?
It was just
like, it's him here right now.
It was a feeling and a knowing. And have you heard of like, I've heard about this because I've started listening to more podcasts on this, and then I literally read it today in Matthew. Have you heard of like The Secret Place?
I have heard of that.
Yeah. And I've been reading about, I think that is, The Secret Place is where, I think that is where like the Holy Spirit and Jesus, we really meet him. When you go to the secret place. And I think sometimes God just literally meets us and puts us in the secret place so we can experience that. I think, I don't know, but that's what happened to me then. Yeah. And I've had other times where I felt him like that so clearly. Another time was with Sawyer. I think I told you about that in Newport. That's why that place is so special to me, because it's like, that was such a sacred place. That's where I got engaged, because I was like, I felt the Holy Spirit and Jesus, and I knew. And it was when Sawyer, my younger brother, was like wrestling with his belief. Yeah. And in that moment, I knew exactly where he was at, because I had been there, and I was just like, Lord, just reveal yourself, just be here. Like, Holy Spirit, just be here. Like, I'm open. And I felt it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I can't move anymore. I felt it come in, and then I didn't know if Sawyer felt it. And then all of a sudden he just started like crying. Oh. And it was like the most beautiful moment. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. And then I think like in the summer I had another encounter like that, and I actually was crying when it happened, because I was like, man, I haven't had one of these in so long. I haven't felt this in like years. And I got this message that was basically like, well, if you felt this all the time, you wouldn't need to have faith. Wow. Because I was like, am I doing something wrong? I'm not feeling this experience with Jesus. I'm not feeling that, like, those feelings that, like, you want to experience that. Someone listening is probably like, I want to feel that complete feeling of, like, undoubtedly, like, this is this person that is real, that saved my life, that died for me, every single thing. And then
it'd make it so much easier.
It'd make it so much easier. Yeah. And then it was just like, listen, you don't need to feel this all the time, because otherwise you wouldn't have to have faith.
Like, that's not what faith is. Yeah.
And I think that's probably something like I would want like new believers to like think about or understand, is like, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong if you stop having those crazy big encounters. And you could still go to the secret place. It's just maybe not going to be as like intense as that. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, tell me about you though. Like, what do you think about, have you had any of those encounters? Like,
I'm trying to think. I feel like, I mean, there have been those kinds of encounters, but I can't say I've ever been to like the secret place. But there have definitely been times where I've been struggling, where I have felt his presence more. Yeah. Especially, like, I remember a time where I was like really struggling, and I would go to church like late at night, because I knew someone that like could open it, and I would just go and like pray at like 11 at night, and it would just be a silent, like, dark church. But I just remember like feeling him so closely there.
In Chico?
Yeah, in Chico. Yeah, and just like, and so that church there holds a very special place in my heart, because I just remember those nights of just like, I don't know what's going on, what to do. But like, I know that this is a place of comfort. And that's why I think I love churches for that reason, because I think they can feel like dark and cold or like unwelcoming, but I have just experienced like the warmth that a church can hold. Like, it is such a special, or can be such a special place. So I don't know if I've ever had like a secret place though. Yeah, we'll just pray for it and it'll come. Lord, show us the secret place. But I've definitely had those ups and downs of like, I don't even know, this is so much to say I believe, you know, like, I don't know how to explain this to someone who's never heard of Christianity before. Like, I feel like I would sound insane when you actually think about it. But like you said, that's where faith comes in. And I think even in those moments, it's just pushing through, knowing that we don't need all the answers. I don't need to understand everything. We're not meant to, honestly. Like, I'm not meant to understand God's full nature. You know, like, I can't.
And it doesn't need to always feel good. And that's okay. I think that's a huge thing too. Like, you're gonna feel like you want it because you want to feel that goodness. And it's a concept that I was kind of learning, just like listening to different spiritual leaders and stuff, talking about like not treating Jesus just like a dopamine hit. Like, oh, just give me that, like, that feeling. And that's not what it's for.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, I don't want to chase that, because ultimately that is not the way that like life is.
No.
Like and if we were always that way, then we had no struggle and like anything at all.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, we base so much off of feelings now, but faith doesn't need to be a feeling. Like, even feeling God's love, like sometimes you might not feel it. You know? We don't feel that he's near. He's always near, though. He's everywhere. You know, like, we're not always meant to feel those things.
Yeah. And I would like, I wish maybe I had heard that more. Like, like, you don't have to feel him right there. And it really is like one of those things where it's like, it's because he's literally carrying you through that time.
Yeah.
And you're like, where are you? And he's like, I literally am holding you.
Like, I could not be closer.
Yeah, I have literally, and that's the thing, like, that concept, like, shield me from nothing but sustain me in everything. And that's how he is. It's a hard thing to pray for me too, though, because sometimes I'm like, I don't want to face certain things, but it's like, no, let me face it, because you will sustain me in everything, and my faith will grow in that.
Yeah.
Because every single thing in my life, every single time, like every single thing has worked out, and like will literally always work out. You know?
It's true. Yeah. I think like I always like I'll pray and ask for certain things, but I always try to end with like, but your will be done, whatever you want ultimately.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like that is what I want.
No, it is. Yeah.
Like, I do want that, but I also know what I think I want and what I think he wants for me.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like I do pray for that, and then I end with like, but actually I don't know if this is best. So like, please just direct me however, even if it's not what I'm actually asking for right now.
Yeah, because I think usually, a lot of the time, I feel at least, if you're praying, if you're checking that, and you have people around you, usually it's not that you just like want something that's really terrible for your life or anything like that. And it's usually okay. It's more the process and the timeline. Yeah. That I'm realizing that's the thing I have to fully surrender. Yeah. Like, yes, Lord, like these are the things I want and I want to do it, but I don't need to be like, it's like this, it's like the concept of like the GPS on the phone. I put in a destination, I feel that God put that destination in my heart. I don't need to now be like, oh, why are we turning here? Why are we going here? Why are we slowing down? Because we don't do that when we put in our GPS to go anywhere. And it's just being like, okay, all right. And that's definitely something I'm working on. We'll continue to
follow the route. Yeah. That is hard though.
Yeah. I have a hard time not rushing, but I feel like I've actually started to really learn just in building a business. Yeah. Like, and building a podcast and doing social media and everything. It's just like, if you're headed in the direction you need to be headed, that's kind of all that matters. Just stay in that direction, stay on that path, redirect to the path over and over again, and eventually like you'll get there. Yeah,
definitely. Where do you feel like he's calling you in your business right now? Like, where are you? What's that route? Yeah. Or what's that destination? You don't know.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely, it's speaking. Okay. I've always said that. I felt called to speak.
And you just did your first keynote.
Yeah, that was awesome. And through this, I was like, that's why I took that pause too. Like, God also showed me in that pause, like, bring in my faith even more to this. I think I was afraid to repel certain people, but that's also not up to me to worry about. Like, it doesn't matter. If it does, it does. But I think that is kind of like redirecting it just in the speaking and just bringing that into the culture. Like, one of my players, like, last week got 2 really great offers and was making this, and I was like, let's just pray about it right now. Let's just pray about your decisions moving forward. And I knew she was a believer, and everything. And I have like a sign behind me on all my calls. Like you know, so usually if someone is a believer, they point it out and they like that. And then I know I can revert back to that faith when talking to my students and talking about like all of the things. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's probably where I'm at.
Public speaking. Yeah, that's so exciting.
Yeah. What about you? What do you feel like?
Where I'm being called right now? Yeah. I don't know, like where I'm being called. I mean, I'm happy in my job right now. So career-wise, I'm just like, I think that I'm just in like a learning phase.
Being called to podcast with
learning. Me. Yeah. Ultimately, that's my dream
for real
job.
Though. Yeah, we could do some stuff.
That would be so much fun. And we want to work together too.
Yeah, we've always been that way. I think we needed to mature though too.
Yeah.
Like, I already feel like just being 25 now, my brain just being a little bit more like
It's a little bit older, almost fully developed.
Almost fully developed. Yeah, it's so serious.
Is it 25 when it actually develops, or is it 26?
I believe. I don't know.
It's somewhere
around here because I feel
so like we're just, which is wild.
I think it's 25 for girls and like 27 for guys.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm reminded, like, Jesus didn't start until what, 33?
33.
That's you know.
Yeah.
I'm more realizing that now, like just how much it takes to like grow up.
Did he start his ministry at 30?
I think 30 and died at 33.
And then died at 30.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was really hung up on that. I was like, hang on. How long did because he died at 30.
The word.
I'm like, I need to know this. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
You're glad you didn't start your business till later? Is that what you said?
My gosh.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah. Yes.
Oh.
So many.
I thought that's what you said.
No, I also had to like deal with so many things. I had to deal and heal, you know?
Deal and heal. Well, yeah. And then I feel like once you started your business, like a whole other like plethora of things popped up too that you learned that you need to deal with. Like it just revealed so much about you. I think in a good way.
Yeah.
But it was still a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
And I know still is.
Yeah. And I think I also like, I haven't realized until recently, like what I'm in an infancy stage in multiple, I'm like a baby in my belief and faith. Like I really am. Mm-hmm. I don't think I thought I was, you know?
Well, you gotta figure it out.
I was like, no, like I'm locked in on God. It doesn't matter because anytime, like you're not. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an actual baby in my faith. Yeah. And I'm a baby in business. I'm a baby in, like all these things. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like, wow, okay, yeah. I do not have this all figured out, but I know I'm headed in the direction and I'm willing to be humble and like learn and just keep trying. Yeah. And that's it. And it's okay to be, I think because I had like the whole work ethic thing down, you know, in soccer.
You know how to work hard.
Yeah, I knew how to achieve things and how to work really hard, but that doesn't mean that you have like actual wisdom and knowledge and understanding in any space until I think it's just been revealed over time and decisions and education.
Trial and error too.
Yeah. And you can't just like get it all of a sudden. It's just, it's going to take time. And I'm like, I've only been doing this for like 2 years.
Yeah. And honestly killing it already.
It's been hard. Oh my gosh. No. But yeah, it takes a really long time to like just not be a baby anymore.
Yeah. I wonder at what point like we hit that where we're like, oh, I'm not a baby anymore.
Probably when we're like 40. Like 45.
I wonder if even then though.
Even then we're gonna be like, I don't know about that, because then we're gonna be like feel like we're babies and like, you know, just parenting and raising, like dealing with our teenagers.
I'm like, I don't know if that ever goes away.
Yeah, but I definitely do not have a fear, and we've talked about this too. I don't have a fear of like getting older. I'm not like, I hear young people being like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be 27 or I'm gonna be 30 or oh my gosh, I'm 33. I'm like, dude, what? Like, that's so much knowledge and time, and I have no fear around that. I'm like, oh, thank goodness, I'm gonna have so much more stability. I'm gonna be so much more chill and level-headed and less reactionary, or reactionary, is that a word? Yeah, to stuff. More just like, neutral. More neutral.
I know. You went to the DMV this morning and she was super neutral. So,
well, I did my best.
I mean, man.
Okay, I was, interacting.
You were
but
really good.
I got to the line and I got like, I don't know what it was. I was trying to understand what it was in me and talk to my body, because I started like sweating, my heart was beating, like all these things.
Okay, it's always nerve-wracking though, going to the DMV. I just had to get my plates recently, like my registration or whatever, and I was like stressed so bad. There were like 5 other people in line. Yeah. And I was just like, I need to be on my best behavior. Like,
yes, I was that way too.
Like I feel like I've committed a crime or something.
Why? I
don't know. I don't know at all. Like I just think it's a stressful environment.
Yeah, I was literally like in the car with Mitchell when we were waiting, because I last night had to go too, and I was just like doing like butterfly taps, like deep breathing techniques. I'm not even joking. Yeah, literally. I was like, I have to calm down.
I don't get it at all, but anyway, I feel like you are much less reactionary than you used to be, so that only like bodes well for the future. But I feel the same way. I also feel like we're healthy, we take good care of ourselves, so we're just like, we're set up to age
more
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. To not be like, I'm falling apart. Yeah. No,
at 30.
Okay, yeah, let's transition. Let's talk about health stuff a little bit. Because we talk about this a lot. I would say we've pretty much been best friends since we were 7. So almost 20 years, by the way.
That's crazy.
Like after this we're gonna hit 20 years.
So this year we're hitting 19 years?
Yeah. Once I'm 26, yeah. It'll be 19 years.
Well,
we
this
have our
May
18th.
will be 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like a year and a half, and
but
we're 20.
pretty close.
That's insane.
That's wild.
And I've pretty much always been health conscious, and we were always on the same page with everything, I feel like, for the most part.
Yeah, you always you pushed me to work out because I feel like I didn't really come from that family as much as you did.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I would not have worked out initially if it hadn't been for you. Now I do my own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got me on that track.
Yeah, and then we would make salads together and have chicken salads all the time and make smoothies.
Yeah.
We were pretty much always tried to be healthy, but then it's like the woke era now too, where everyone's like, look what's in our meat, look what's in, and so that's like the whole other, there's a difference between being healthy and then turning into, I was trying to describe to Mitchell what crunchy was.
Oh, yeah.
And
health conscious versus just healthy. It's just I feel like
different.
it's an overall
lifestyle
wellness.
Yeah, and I think we've always been that way. There's just now there's a whole other, the most deep, intense heart, just the organic, the grass-fed, the plastics, every single thing. It's it's so overwhelming.
It can feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I was telling Matthew, I feel like my parents were kind of OG crunchies almost, and I didn't realize it at the time, but my mom would clean with vinegar and give in the cleaning supplies.
Yeah,
and
that's so cool.
They were super big on whole foods, and I just didn't realize it at the time, but I feel like they were almost a little bit ahead of the curve, because now this is becoming you know,
yeah, you guys had a lot of organic stuff. They
were super aware of that. I remember my dad switching out deodorant, and he was don't want anything with aluminum in it, and using baking soda, and I just I did not understand. I was still too young. I was probably
remember you guys had
still.
that orange deodorant.
Yes.
Yeah, the little
yellow
baking soda. It sort of looks like a baking soda thing. Yes.
Yeah. They switched to Tom's toothpaste.
Yep.
I
recently made that switch.
I know, I did too. And then I'm remembering now what my parents were doing. I was wow, they were kind of onto it.
Yeah, I would say my mom was not that way, but she was very health conscious. She was always you need to move, you need to eat protein. You can't eat a bunch of sugar.
Yeah.
And didn't give us sugar.
Which are I feel like those are the more important basics. You know, if you're nailing that,
if you have that
obviously
foundation.
There's a lot of other stuff that you can clean up and whatever, but that foundation, exactly.
Yeah. I do feel like can be overwhelming, and that's why I think just praying over our food and the thing that you said that I also think back to 1,000 years ago, people were eating all kinds of things they shouldn't have been eating that were unclean or whatever, and they would die, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we were dying at 40, all 30, you know, the unclean meat, and you didn't know that it had whatever. No, legit, or the berry.
The berry.
The bear peed on those berries, and now, I don't know, whatever. Legit, you don't.
Or the berries were just already poisonous.
They were already poisonous. Yeah. So it's
pee just made it worse.
It's what you said, though. We have a tolerance.
Yes.
We have a tolerance.
Yeah.
And we have a, what do you say? We have a...
Well, I heard this on the podcast of the doctor I work for. He was talking about the bucket effect, and it's we have a bucket, and you can, and our bodies are resilient. So we have a bucket, and it can take so many toxins and still be able to cleanse and function normally. It's just when that bucket gets full and starts overflowing that it starts messing with our system.
Yeah.
And so it's knowing that yes, we do have resilient bodies. So not everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
But it's just making the switches, the swaps, whatever, where you can.
Yeah.
And I feel that makes it feel less overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
To know not everything has to be perfect. I don't have to make all of these swaps right away.
Also, it would be, I wouldn't enjoy my life at all being that on it. I watched it was like Keeping Up or the Kardashians, whatever their show is now, and they had the guy, who's the guy that was founder of Venmo, that's now the most health guy, whatever, I forget his name, like he's crazy.
I don't know.
And he looks not great in my opinion in this, like, because he follows all the things, like he doesn't ever eat past 11 in the morning, and he never sees the sun, and he like, and he goes to like all kinds of things, like that's all he does. His whole thing is to try and like make death not inevitable or whatever, like you can, his
forever.
It's literally just like taking age off his life, or giving it back, whatever.
Interesting.
And there is a lot of people that's their focus though.
Yeah.
And that sounds like so exhausting.
Yeah. No.
And also, like, that's not what I want.
It also, like, one specific thing or routine isn't going to work for everyone anyway. Like, that's why you see a million things on social media. It's like, oatmeal is a superfood, and then another person's like, oats are the worst for you. And it's like,
eggs are good. Eggs are terrible.
Yeah, keto's the way to go. Keto will ruin you. It's like,
it's literally what works for your body.
Yeah.
And just, that's what I've settled into, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, your lifestyle, your gender, like everything.
Yeah, and not trying to do everything. And not trying to do everything all at once, because, I mean, we've talked about this, just trying to like transition certain.
Yeah, I feel like we both have been learning that recently. Just like not pushing ourselves when we don't need to, or when it's not actually good. Like, I'm not gonna go work out today because I don't feel well. Like, I need to rest. This is better for me to rest.
It's literally better to rest. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that has taken me so much time to understand.
Yeah, and to feel okay about doing it.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
you can understand it and then
feel guilty about taking a rest day.
Yeah, and then you have more stress because you rested for so long, and now you're like, oh my gosh, I have anxiety because, and then you're like shaming yourself.
Yeah,
it's a terrible cycle that women deal with way more than men do, for whatever reason.
The
statistics because the guys are like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna lay up and like watch TV and have my beer, and they don't care.
Right.
They're like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to be more like that.
I know, just chilling, just like, I'll hit a good workout tomorrow.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
But that, I don't know where that comes from, but it's just a society thing, I think.
Yeah.
Like being a productive.
Societal pressure of
the importance of being productive and all the things.
Yeah.
But now I'm more like, I think especially now that my schedule's different. I mean, you work remote, so your schedule's different too.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's nice out, you just want to go outside and enjoy a walk or something like that anyway. Yeah. So it's like, it doesn't, like that's kind of how we were like designed to be.
To be able to go out and
enjoy the weather's nice. Yeah, you want to spend a lot of like versus
absolutely
being like
in a cubicle 9 to 5, regardless of weather.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm coming up on 2 years of being job free.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Quit your corporate job.
Yeah, that was so crazy. Yeah.
That was a huge transition. That was, I mean, I just remember, because we were still living together when you had your corporate job, and just like those mornings for you were awful.
Yeah.
Like you were not made for that. Yeah, you were in rush hour traffic, you were waking up early, regardless of how you slept the night before. Like there was no flexibility, all rigidity. Yeah.
That's been one of the hugest shifts for me though, is literally the sleep in the mornings.
Yeah.
And for me to realize, if I wanted to literally live my best life, whatever, like actually though, I don't even know how to say that without being like, I gotta live my best life, like actually live life well and do my best in my life, I need to have slow mornings.
Yeah.
At least for this phase in my life. Now I grinded out 10 years of very early morning workouts and all since I was like, I don't know, 13.
Oh yeah.
Legitimately.
Yeah, no, it's not a matter of like you don't have the discipline to wake up early. It's just like that's not what's best.
It's not what's for
your health.
I mean, even when we did it when we were in Chico, like
it was 5 a.m.?
Yeah, it was just like so early all the time. And then when I moved here, then I had practices like at 6:30 a.m. You know, I need to be up by like 5:30 or the same that grind. I think so many years of that though too. I don't know. It just after a while it wasn't good for me.
Yeah, and now I know. I feel like I don't even text you before 9. I'm just like, she needs her time. She
and
might
I don't
not
look
even
at my
be
phone.
Awake yet. Yeah,
that's what's amazing is my phone is not in my room at all at night anymore.
That's awesome.
It's never in my room. Occasionally, like if Mitchell is now at the station, then I will in case I wake up and I want to text him or something. But like pretty much out of my room. And I saw this thing too, because like Mel Robbins, you know, she, like her thing, she goes, but her biggest thing is like as soon as your alarm goes off, get out of bed immediately.
Oh, I saw that. It was like her like
that
routine
is
or
not
something.
For me. That is not for me, because then I feel rushed and I like it. But for other people, maybe it's not good. I don't lay in bed, and if you're not on your phone and like all these other things, then I don't think that like you have all this anxiety and stuff sit in.
No.
I think if you go
That's true.
on your phone and stuff, then yeah, you would. But even like Sunday, I was like, I woke up, I had a little bit of anxiety. I was like, all right. So I took my Bible. I was like, I'm not going to look at my phone till like after church, till this afternoon.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not going to look at my phone until I feel I'm regulated. I have a great outlook on my day, on my life. And I'm not going to let going to my phone dictate.
That's going to make it worse.
Yeah, or react. And even react positively. Like if I got another sale or news store or something like that, or bad. I need to be able to self-regulate versus being like, I'm going to go to my phone, look at something, then dictate how my morning goes.
Yeah.
And that's one of the huge things for me. That's why I usually don't even look at my phone until like 9, 10.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I have pretty much at least an hour in the morning without my phone. Sometimes, like, I think I'm going to start doing that every Sunday. I kind of want to just be like, don't even look at it till after church, you know, because then I have like 6-7 hours, no screen. I'm like, isn't that crazy though? That's a thing.
That's like a huge amount of time to be awake.
Yeah, I'm like, good. I just did 6 hours without looking at my phone. That's nuts.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially when you work on it, like you.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't have that time in the morning. I do have that time in the evening though. Like I've really been prioritizing reading before bed.
That's awesome.
Winding down that way. Like I don't scroll on my phone. Like, and I know, like I can just feel the difference. It's so much better for my sleep. It's better. Like, and I fall asleep faster too.
Yeah.
Not scrolling.
Yeah, I hate when I scroll. I'm always like, and then it's even worse because I know I shouldn't, and I'm like,
it's terrible. Yeah. And I can feel the pull to just like one more reel, like one, and it's like I don't want to be tied to that. I hate that.
Yeah, or just like sitting there and being like, why did I pick that up? Yeah, but it's like I'll go through a really good phase of like not doing it at all, and then you can kind of slip back into it. Yeah. And then it's like, it's just like staying in the direction. Can you get back on that path and like not do it? But I don't think people even realize how bad it is for them, how crappy it makes you feel.
It's so bad. I've been trying to do that at the gym too, just like not looking at my phone between sets and stuff, just like hang out with me.
Yeah,
like I don't need to scroll.
I work. I respond to my DMs or like
content or stuff. Yeah.
I get on the treadmill or my warm up and I literally just like respond to all my students.
That's awesome.
But
that's productive.
I feel that too though sometimes. Do you listen to podcasts at the gym or anything? Or
not really. I usually work out with Matthew too, so we're usually chatting anyway. But I probably should. That'd probably be a better use of my time. I'm not a big like listen to music at the gym person. Like I don't usually bring headphones with me, but
I just don't even listen to that much music anymore.
I've been listening to a bunch of Christian music lately.
Yeah,
like,
that is pretty much only what I listen to now. But it's all been like Christian hype, like Lecrae and like all that.
Awesome.
If I juggle the ball, which I'm getting back into and everything, then
I saw that. I saw one of your posts and I was like, ooh.
Content. New B-roll. I've been using the same B-roll for so long. I was like, I gotta make something new.
Nice. No, it was great.
I know. But I'm excited to start actually like playing, getting outside, doing all the things.
Yes. We need to go play pickleball.
Yes.
Do you guys have paddles?
No. Cindy does though.
Ooh. Borrow some from Cindy.
Cindy's my mother-in-law. For everyone listening.
She's the best.
Shout out to Cindy. Cindy listens to the podcast.
Heck yeah, of course she does.
Cindy's
not even surprised by that.
She'll be like, I love your... She'll listen on her walks.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Aw, she's
Cindy,
the best.
Yeah, Cindy is very supportive. Okay, what were you going to say?
I was going to say we got to get her on the pickleball courts too. That'd be so much fun.
She's going to go too hard.
She'd probably destroy us, honestly. Yeah.
Okay, I want to transition to wedding stuff really quick.
Ooh, yes.
Fun topic. How are you feeling?
Really good. I'm getting married a month from tomorrow.
Holy guacamole.
So it's happening. I feel really great.
364 days apart, we're getting married, by the way.
Yes. Like technically within the same year.
The same calendar year. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We did it.
Which is so epic. Like,
it'll be the same when it's time to have a child. I hope I will. I really will.
I mean,
be like, all right,
let's
go.
time it. Yeah, I think that we can.
I'm not gonna do this alone. You think I'm a freak?
It's insane. Yeah, no, I need the support too. No, wedding stuff is going super well. I feel like we're getting like last minute stuff taken care of. We need to do like walkthrough with vendors and just stuff like that, like now that it's the month of, but it has not been very stressful, honestly. Like it's been so much fun to do together.
Yeah.
And like it's something that we're never gonna do it again either. So it's like, let's make this fun. Like we went and like tried out a fun restaurant last week and we're like, oh, this is where we'll do our rehearsal dinner. Like just have made so many things into like date nights that have also been wedding planning.
Yeah.
Like wedding cake testing was so fun together. So it's just been a really great process.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you most excited about?
For our wedding?
Yeah. Your dress.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, to just
for
be
my
in your
dress and just like to walk out. I can't wait to see his reaction.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be so fun.
What about the transition to your other dress? Are you still doing that, right? Or
I am, I'm planning on it. Okay. I have my dress and my different shoes for the reception. So at some point, I don't know when I'm going to change into it, but I still think that would be super fun. And then I want to get like a jean jacket.
I know, I was thinking about that. Yes. I was like, I got to start looking for one.
Yeah, I can look for one too, but I think that'll be super fun. But I think that, I don't know. I mean, I'm super excited for your speech. I think it's going to be, I was literally thinking about it the other day. I don't know what I was picturing, but I was just like, oh, you know what I was thinking about? I was like, I feel like this is the difference between you and me, or like one of them. It's that like, when I was preparing for your speech, I was like, all right, I have 2.5 minutes, like best speech I can do in 2.5 minutes. And you're like, all right, I'll do the best speech I can, but it's not going to be 2.5 minutes. And that's just how we work. Like, I'm like, all right, give me the confines, like give me the guidelines, and I want to work within that. And you're just like, I don't care about the guidelines or the confines. Like it just needs to be the best. And I was like, that's just
so true.
You and me.
Yeah. That doesn't help me. Yeah.
And it helps me. I'm like, tell me exactly what you want. Like, give me as much detail as possible.
I'm like, give me as much freedom as possible, and it's going to be way better than you can imagine.
But that's why we work so
I did think about it while I was going to sleep the other night, and I couldn't fall asleep, and I was like, what am I gonna do? It's really easy for me, for you, because I have known you for so long. I know most of your life. Like literally most things that have happened in your life, I know.
Oh, for sure.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But like Matthew, I don't know like you know what I mean? Like there's only so much I know.
Right. But I feel like that's also part of like the maid of honor speech or matron of honor.
That's what I was thinking.
It's mostly about the bride and then the groom.
That's what I was,
the best man. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, his part is just gonna be a little bit shorter than that.
Yeah. Mitchell's part was definitely shorter.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're awesome. Love you, whatever.
You're cool, bro.
Great.
Yeah.
No, he is awesome.
Mitchell and I were talking. No, I was actually talking about that with Jenny, one of our friends, mutual friends. And she was like, I thought it was just so cool that you guys like all get along so well. I was like, it is. And I feel like so really, really blessed that, because we can hit all the point. Like it's not a thing. Like we can all spend time with each other while being with each other too.
Yes.
And like, and Matthew and Mitchell have grown on each other. Not that they weren't ever cool, but they were strangers who had to be like, all right, now we got to hang out all the time.
They're friends because they're, wives and fiance are like best friends.
Yeah, so they have to be. We're like,
by proximity, but now, and Matthew just got a bow, so now they can like,
I know, that's
do bow things together.
I was thinking you and I should maybe do that and practice. Then they don't even know about it. I'm taking it quiet because Matthew's in the other room.
So impressed.
And then just like absolutely destroy. Because we could do it while they're working.
That would be hilarious. They just get blown away. We're like, I guess I'll try it. And then just.
Yeah. That was so good. What? Why was that sound so good? Can you like really do that in your mic?
Into the mic?
Yeah. Do it one more time. Do it. It was so good. You got like the.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
I could see us doing that though.
I could. That'd be a fun little hobby for us.
Now that the weather is changing too, I'm just more activities based.
Yes.
Like, you know, and that my knee's better.
Dude, I was thinking about that today.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Like, not in crutches anymore.
Dude, that has been a long journey. A very long journey. But again, it was really by design. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't own the business that I own, I don't think, if I hadn't had the injuries.
Wow.
Because I would have pursued jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, you were on that.
That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably get into like UFC cage fighting and all that stuff. Like legitimately, I probably would have done that.
Yeah.
And that's just not what I was supposed to do. And I'm so grateful that I'm not doing that too. I don't really want to do that.
I'm glad you're not either.
I want to get back into like soccer and play beach professional soccer. I'm gonna throw that one out there and just trust the map that it will get there. Yeah.
Destination?
Yeah, destination. Put it in the GPS. Let it go.
Yes.
Because I have the discipline and the habits of doing the thing. Like, so do you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people who talk about like, you just manifest it and you just blah, blah, blah. Which I'm trying to understand that one too, because like, Jesus talks about that. In the Bible, they talk about manifest. Like, he talks about how he manifests into our life and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm understanding the like, language around that basically. And where you're supposed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like that definition has gotten really loose.
No, I know.
It means a lot of different things.
Yes,
now.
Exactly. But I really do think speaking things into existence and just like putting it out there.
Yeah.
Is because I'm like the month of March, I did like a, what's it called? Hypnosis session. Mm-hmm. I think I told you. And it was 6 months ago. It was November. Wow, was that November? 6 months ago?
Wow.
Okay, it was October, I guess.
Okay.
Because it was like 6 months ago. Because I was supposed to project 6 months into the future and do a visualize where I was at, like within my business, with like all the things that I do. And I like literally these things that I just said, felt them, and then just like, I'll just continue the path, like boom, in March, like crazy. Like the event, like every single thing. Yeah. And so I'm like, that actually really works as long as you're willing to do the work. And I think there's this whole thing going around that's like, you don't have to do anything, just say what it is and it'll happen. It's like,
right.
Wait, why? How would that happen?
Yeah.
It wouldn't. But there is power in like saying what it is and then being like, now, like I said that I was going to do a keynote, I was going to do these things, and then I invested in a speaker school and I like did all these other things.
Yeah.
I didn't seek out the event to speak at though. I just prepared and then it came to me. And I think that's the difference. Like you have to still prepare.
Yes.
And do the steps and do the work and then like trust the GPS. So that's kind of me with the soccer thing. I'm like, I'm going to prepare, do the rehab really well, and then just start doing everything that I need to do, and then trust that.
No, I do like that you're speaking it out though. That's biblical too. I forget where, but it's like speaking aloud your thoughts. Yeah. There's power behind our words. Yeah. I don't even know where it is in the Bible, but I know that that's a passage somewhere. I fully believe that. Yeah. I think it also takes the fear out of whatever it is that you're aiming for. You know, if we don't speak it aloud, we can be fearful of going for it. Yes, but 100%. Once you speak it out, like then it's out there. Yeah, 100%. You know, you're not hiding it anymore, especially if you're speaking it to other people and you're saying, look, this is what I'm shooting for. Yeah, and that's the other thing I've been realizing is like the ego is like, it's really our worst enemy because it's the thing that's always going to be like, no, don't do it. Protect you, keep you small. Yeah, don't do it. You'll like get your pride will get wounded, your whatever. It's what if it doesn't work out? Yeah. It's really just like the ego that holds us back from like so much. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, God, I just want that gone. Like humble me. Like I do not. Yeah. Because it's painful. It's really painful to have your ego involved a lot. But if it's not, you're like, well, okay. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Awkward for you, not for me. Like I don't care. You're like, I don't even know who you are. Yeah, no, really. I even feel that way with just like a business and like having sales calls or doing these things with different people. If like if your ego's like, what if they reject you? What if they don't like your I'm like, I don't care. Like I know I can say no. Yeah. Yeah, they say no. I know. That is so hard though. Yeah, I mean, we sit here talking about it, but like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I care about and people's opinions, and it's just like. It's always going to be there. Yeah, we're always going to be like, oh my gosh. And I realized that with even my keynote, I was like,
because you still have those like that fear and like, oh my gosh, what if it's that thing that we talk about, like going to the worst case scenario. What is the literal worst thing that could happen? And can you live with it? Are you going to go to bed that night after that worst thing happens? Are you going to lay down in your bed and go to sleep? Yes. Then I'm fine. Then I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I pictured myself like literally doing terribly, like dropping my mic, falling on the ground, sweating. Like I pictured literally
just terrible things.
Yeah. And I was like,
but realistic things.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Okay. And so not me like shitting myself. I wasn't picturing that.
Right.
But like still like
in the realm of like possibility.
Yeah, I was like, literally, what is the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And am I gonna be fine? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it really does ease your mind. I feel like on a smaller level, even with wedding planning, like initially we were talking about like what we want to have there, like what dishes we want to use. And initially my first reaction was to just be like, but what are people going to think if we do this? And Matthew was just like, why does it matter? It's just like, what do we want? Like, what's going to make us the most happy on that day? And it took me a while to come around, but it was honestly so good. And I'm so glad that he's really good about just,
but
dude,
Matthew
doesn't
is
matter.
pretty.
Yeah, he's gonna.
What do you mean?
He will do what he wants to do. Yeah, he'll.
Dude, I felt that way about certain things too, and I was like, I do not care. I was like, oh my, because I didn't send out save the dates, I didn't send out invite, I said electronic. Had you do it, help me with it.
Right.
And I'm like, do you think I care for 1 second if someone is judging me because I didn't want to write out? That's not my thing. That's your thing.
Yeah.
That's other people. That's not. I'm like, dude, I am trying to run a business and like live my life over here. If you want to come.
Yeah, and that's not what the day is about. But it's so easy to start thinking about like, what will people
because
think?
people do.
Yeah.
People totally do and will. And it's like,
but I also think, like, I'm not a judgmental person. In the weddings I've gone to, I haven't even noticed those things.
You don't even think about those things.
Like, I haven't even thought about the details that I'm thinking about now.
Yeah.
No one cares.
It's only a few select people who are that way, and we don't even want to be around those people.
Yeah,
anyway.
and if they are, it's just like, you need to have more important things to do.
And that's the same thing, like, Mitchell and I thought this about our wedding, was like, and it's the same to, like, interacting with people. They don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
When you said it. Whatever it was. Our whole thing was like, they're not going to remember all these little things. What's going to be the feeling and the vibes over there?
Yeah.
Is it going to be good music, good food, good
and
times?
that's
like, that's
exactly what happened. It's like everyone afterwards was like, this is the most fun wedding.
This was so fun. It was good vibes. Yeah.
Like, just, they could feel your love, feel your happiness. And
that was the focus.
Literally the biggest thing you could ask for.
And that was like plastic everywhere thing, throw away everything, whatever.
I'm like disposable, all of it. Yeah. I don't care.
I don't care. I do not want to be in charge.
I want less work.
Yeah. And everyone's going to end up doing all the things and everything anyways. Yeah. And I feel like you don't have anyone close to you that would be that way at all.
We have great people on both sides that are just going to be super supportive. So.
Yeah. I think it'd be harder if you did have, or if I had like a parent who was like super like particular about things. I'd be like, that would be harder. Yeah. And I've heard of those situations. I've had friends who've been like, oh yeah. That
would be hard. No, I do not.
Yeah.
Don't have that. Matthew's parents are super supportive.
Yeah. Okay, I want to wrap it up with one of your favorite childhood memories that we are both involved in, or just
there's so many,
or just like insane. It doesn't even have to be like good. It could just be like,
oh my gosh. Okay, I'm remembering. Are you thinking of one?
I just want to hear what you're saying. I've thought of like 5 just now.
I know, I had so many run through my head, but the one that always comes back to me is being at my house. And so we lived on like 4 acres of like walnut trees. Yeah, just orchard.
The mud? Are you thinking the mud? Yeah.
No, the dog.
Oh!
And like the neighbors adjacent to us had dogs that were just like kind of the worst.
Yeah. And they would run feral. Yeah.
Not on leashes ever. Like they were like pits, mutts. I don't even know what they were.
I mean, aggressive
we
dogs.
had a pit bull and she was like the sweetest ever, but these guys were like, they just weren't trained well.
And they were allowed to just roam. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was weird.
They did not have any control over them. And so we were out in the orchard.
Yeah.
And the dog was coming like toward us.
Yeah, aggressively. I thought it was going to attack, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was, but I felt like it was.
And we were out by ourselves.
Yeah.
And what happened? You like fended it off.
I picked up a log, a literal log, and it was like, get in the tree.
Yeah, you told me get in the tree, and I was just like, okay.
And I'm like, the tree.
Yeah, just scrambling up.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
yeah.
And then didn't you come up in the tree?
Yes, and we were literally in that tree.
Yeah, and eventually he went away.
Yeah. That's a good one.
You were the protector.
Yeah.
We had some wild times in there. We would slide through the mud.
I'll never forget about you falling in that like trench thing one time and losing a flip-flop.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking like, could you have swam if you fell in that? Like
I have never been a strong swimmer.
No, I know.
It's also like, it's really dirty water and it has like walnut husks in it because it was like, remember
flushing.
It was, flushing stuff. Really gross.
It's disgusting, yeah.
But we would play on the mounds around it, and I fell in, but it's like thick and like it's like heavy water.
How deep was it on you when you fell in?
I don't remember how. Like,
I remember
was it waist?
I don't know, but I remember being like, no, I fell in. I lost that flip flop. Like,
yeah, it was gone.
Yeah,
because it's dark.
Like,
I don't even know how deep it was, but it was not like wading water. It was a deep trench.
Yeah, I remember being like, I feel like you could have that could have ended really poorly.
Yeah.
Speaking of water, that's the other thing I was thinking about you diving, but I think we were like way older.
We were older. I think I was like 19.
I might have been in college.
No, because it was after I was a missionary, so I'm like, I was at least 19. I was trying to dive. It is the
I should
worst.
have my guy add that clip.
It's so embarrassing. I remember like your mom and you coming out there and being like, wow, you look so good in your swimsuit. And at that point, I was like still recovering from like missionary like weight that I gained. It was just not a good time.
My mom came out and said that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I think you were being really supportive and she came out and like joined in.
Oh, nice. Hey.
Thanks, guys.
I'm glad that that's what you remember from that.
Yeah, I do remember that. I also remember just the terrible dive, but...
Yeah. The strong swimming piece, that was what I was.
Yeah, I've never been a strong swimmer. Still am not. Matthew's not either, so.
That's what concerns me. I know. I don't want to go kayaking or anything with you guys. And I don't think
we've gone kayaking before. It's fine.
Mitchell's not, I don't think he's a really strong swimmer.
You have to carry all of us. You are probably the strongest swimmer out of all of us.
I'm pretty sure I am. But I also did a swim team one season. But actually you
kind of nailed it though. Yeah.
But I would always swim laps in my pool all the time for the exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's cheers out for our coffee time with Maggie and Izzy.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Follow, like, subscribe. Thank you for listening. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I would greatly appreciate if you could share this episode with 5 people you think could benefit from the show. Also, please feel free to connect with me on Instagram at IzzyChinche or my website at izzychinche.com. Thank you so much for being you. Keep being a leader, making this world a better place.